Good morning. Today's discussion is going to be about running websites and the second law of thermodynamics. I'm John Keegan. Those who run websites have two equally important responsibilities. One, content creation. Two, content maintenance. Content maintenance means dealing with a physical quantity called entropy, which measures the degree of disorder in a system and increases with time. Manifestations of entropy. Dead links and link rot. These terms describe the same thing in different ways. Links stop working for a number of reasons. Websites go down either because of server failure or non-payment. As a result, links to those sites die. Sites and pages are moved, and no one puts a redirect into the htaccess file, either because of neglect or because their content management system does not allow them to do so. Just as often, syntax errors occur during coding. Editing or updating. For example, updating a site to responsive design, HTML5, or routine maintenance such as checking for dead links. Or, the most common in my experience, weird stuff happens for no apparent reason. Dead links. There's a definition there, pretty much already defined it. It's a link that doesn't go anywhere or will give you this message here, the 404. This is the most common error message found on the internet. The htaccess file. This is where you would put a redirect. Now, for many years on jgkeegan.com, I had two instances of WordPress in two different directories, and I was managing them myself. And it just became too difficult to keep updating WordPress and installing the updates myself. And in fact, the host that I started out with was causing me a problem because I didn't update on their schedule and shutting down that portion of my site. So, not too long ago, I decided to go to WordPress.com. I got myself a new domain, Keegan.blog, and I redirected all the links to my WordPress blog. Actually, from my WordPress blog to Keegan.blog. And I did the same with the Keegan podcast, which is just a page now that has a link which will list all the podcasts that I've done. These redirects aren't that difficult to do, and they're really, really important. Just as general maintenance. As I said, 404 errors are the most common errors returned by the browser. These and the other common thing is link rot. The more years go by, the more link rot, because pages are moved to new locations or deleted. Syntax errors. Syntax errors are usually internal. They're mistakes in coding. Specifically with this area right here, the copyright statement. A link written in this way tells the browser, look in this folder, resources, and open this page. The only problem is the copyright HTML is not in that folder. It's in the root directory. And I forgot to code it that way. So you'll get, I fixed it, but because I didn't, until I noticed it was wrong, it would produce a 404 error because the page isn't in the directory I was pointing to. Now, weird stuff. This is a picture of one of my blog posts on Keegan.blog. Let's go out there and take a look at it. Now, if we go and click on edit and go to the backstage view, so to speak, we're going to show you the backstage view first, and then we'll go back to the post view. Now, looks fine from this area, but it stops here. There's more content in this post than what's showing in the backstage area. Let's go back to the post and take a look. And if we go down, we see that it's in the backstage area, the post stops somewhere around here. This is the last line of it. But if we look, okay, the post shows normally. But I have to make some edits here because there are some words that are pushed together that need spaces in between them, like then the, okay, and there are others, and that had to be fixed. But if I just go and correct that error or any of the other errors on the page, I don't know what's going to happen to the rest of the content because it's not present in the editing area. And it's also not present in the what you see is what you get editor. And by the time you view this discussion, I will have fixed it. What I intend to do is take the content of the post and take it all out and then repost it as an edit. Okay. So, what happens when you have an external link on your site to a very important piece of content and it goes down? Well, in that case, you can use the Wayback Machine at the Internet Archive. Let's go out and take a look at that. This is a lifesaver, really. And I think it's really important. Um, let's go ahead to Frank Bender US and hit browse history. Now we can go. Let's go to 2020. Let's go to 2020 and see if we can find something here. Let's go to February. Let's see what we got here. Okay. Frank Bender is a forensics artist. He, as you can see, passed away in 2011. And his site was up until recently, and it was taken down because probably for non-payment. I use Frank Bender as a link, and because I find him interesting. Use Frank Bender as a link. Let's go out to my jgkeegan.com here. And I linked to Frank Bender's page. I linked to Frank Bender's page. I get from Sherlock Holmes links. And oh no, it's not Sherlock Holmes links. I'm sorry, it's not. It's forensic science links. Forensic science links, and there. Let me see. Yeah, Frank Bender Arts, right there. Now, when the site went down, I really didn't want to lose that link because Frank Bender, along with an old TV show, the America's Most Wanted, found a guy by the name of John List. John List was wanted for 15 or 20 years for murdering his family in the late 60s. And his forensic bust of John List's face was very important to the capture of John List. Now, this information on the Wayback Machine is not always going to give you everything. You're not going to get all the pictures. It's not going to be you're not going to be able to get everything all the time, but at least you'll get something, and it's worth making this part of your toolbox. It really is. I find it to be very useful. And then there are tools pages dedicated to finding broken links within sites. This is a screenshot of a list of broken links for my document archive at keegan.wiki. And you can see that if you enter the domain, it'll give you a list of broken links. Now, the interesting thing about this is you can go to either the URL, or they'll give you a shot of the code if you use SRC, if you click on the SRC link. And I'm very impressed with this. I don't know whether you would be or not, but out of 41 pages in the document archive, I only have 2 broken links. One of them's the copyright page that was discussed in an earlier slide, and the other one is a broken link in a page that I put there for a reason. I put there for linking out purposes. But for that particular link, there's no, that can't be, there's no Internet Archive, there's no Internet Archive page for that, and I can't find the new link, so I've just left that the way it is. Now, this is the list of broken links for jgkeegan.com. Now, there's only one here. There's only one on my site, which is there. There are 15 in total out of 124 pages, and I'm really impressed with that. Let's go out and take a look at this site. When you go to this site, which is brokenlinkchecker.com, you'll be presented with this page. You put in your URL, it'll do a broken link check for free. They also offer a paid tier, which will put this list into an Excel document for you, which you might find useful. I don't really think that's necessary in my case, even though I do have a lot of pages. But now, there is one thing that I want to cover. There's no substitute for going and checking links on your own. Going through every page on your site and checking links, either internal or external. There's no substitute for that. Whether or not you use a link checker, and there are other ones out there besides brokenlinkchecker.com, whether you use one of those or not, there's no substitute for going through every 6 months to a year your sites to make sure that your links work. And if you do a major refit of your site, make sure you put redirects into your htaccess file. And if you need to study what an htaccess file is and how it works, Google it. That's how I found out how to do redirects. And I personally taught myself how to do HTML code starting in 1996. So that's all for now. I'll see you next time. Oh, one more thing. A list of sources used in this presentation can be accessed by clicking on this link here in the presentation. That's it for now, and I will see you next time.